Okay. Right. Okay. So welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm just going to share my screen. Just give me a moment to do that, please. Here we go. And here's a short presentation and go into slide mode. There we are. Right, we're there. Okay. So as I say, thank you for being here. I always appreciate people's time when they do attend my events. It's really important, I think, for me anyway, that I try and deliver the best value that I can. I've been on a mission now. It's coming up to 29 years. 29 years on the 1st of May. I started on the 1st of May, 1995. When I started running my business, helping and advising people to market themselves. I've written since that. I've written 4 books on marketing. I've been not quite. If I said I've done marketing for companies all over the world, I'd be exaggerating. But right now, I've got clients in Argentina, in Switzerland, in Dubai. I've been to Singapore and Australia and Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia, just to name a few places. So I love doing that because it's really interesting places to visit, and it's always interesting to see different cultures as well. But fundamentally, I provide advice and support for small businesses to help them with their marketing. And I'm on a mission to try and help as many small businesses as I can. I'm running these weekly sessions now. I've been doing, I think this is number 4, and I'm running a different session each week. So they're all branded around my concept of results mastery. So last week was website mastery. Before that was LinkedIn mastery. Today we're looking at pay-per-click advertising mastery. So welcome and thank you for being here. So a little bit about me. I'm not going to read all that out, but that just gives you an overview of today and what we're going to try to do. I'm going to, in a couple of minutes, going to start my presentation all about pay-per-click advertising, give you hopefully some great ideas. I'm then going to do a Q&A, so you can ask me any questions that you may have, followed by, included within it, the opportunity to meet up. I'm really keen to try and help you further. And I always think, when you go on a webinar or something like that, and the person says, oh, if you want to meet up, book a meeting with me, and all that is sometimes is just an opportunity for the guy running the webinar to try and sell you something. That's the truth. But I want to be really clear that I'm not doing that today. I'm offering you a genuine opportunity to meet me on a one-to-one basis. We can talk about your business, your marketing, and I can help you to try and improve the results you're getting. And I do that for a really important reason. One, to try and help you, because as I said, my aim is to try and help as many small businesses as I can. And 2, just to demonstrate my expertise. If I do help you and it does make a difference to your business, chances are, in my world anyway, why wouldn't you want more? If I get results for you, you're probably going to want more results and better results. And so you might hire me. If you don't, that's not a problem. And at least, with your one time of meeting me, it's really benefited you. So that's the sort of rationale or the reason behind it. I adapted this particular slide having listened to a guy called Daniel Priestley. You may have known of Daniel. He's a very successful UK-based, how would you call him, a marketing guy? He's a sort of guy with many different talents, let's just say that, certainly one of which is marketing and business growth. And he developed a system he called the 5 C's of business growth. I turned that into a 5-step business growth system, which is sort of what I think it does. And it's based along the 5 steps that you can see on the right-hand side. The first one being to develop your crowd. And pay-per-click advertising is a great way of developing a crowd. It's a great way of getting your message out to thousands upon thousands of people, particularly on something like LinkedIn, you know, where you say to LinkedIn, show this advert to these people, whoever these people are. It could be business owners in Reading, or it could be accountants throughout the UK. And you can target people on LinkedIn based on a variety of criteria, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Once you get them and start advertising to them, an amount of them will go to the next level where you capture their details. They go to your website, perhaps they sign up for something, they might buy something, but it's always difficult to sell to strangers, I believe. They might book a meeting with you. They might download a free report that you've got on your website, or attend one of your events, perhaps, and so on and so forth. We've then got to convert that from, you know, I mean, you guys at the moment, let me just give you an example. You guys, you're visitors, aren't you? You know, you're visiting with me, as it were. You're attending this event. And, you know, I hope that you'll, you know, convert into a lead. There'll be no hard pressure, as I've said. But if you do, great. And if you don't, that's fine. So the next step then is to convert these visitors, people who've attended your event, downloaded your something, watched your video, maybe you know, booked something on your site, or bought something, you know, convert them into leads. From there, we go from a lead. How good are we at converting leads into sales? Because that's a real key performance indicator. If you could go from converting 4 out of 10 to 6 out of 10, that's a 50% growth in your business. So just by becoming better at converting leads into sales, you could grow your business by 50% over time, not overnight. And then lastly, and importantly, continuity. One of the great things about industries like the accountancy industry is the continuity. You know, unless the accountant, you know, messes up, or, you know, the company goes, you know, meteoric and needs a bigger service, or the company goes bust, pretty much, hopefully, you've got a customer for life, you know, certainly for many, many years. That's a great sort of model. So that's my model, that's my belief. I did suggest this at a seminar a few years ago, and one guy put his hand up and said, that doesn't apply to me. I said, oh, why is that then? He said, well, I'm a funeral director. He said, the thought of getting people coming back again and again and again is quite worrying. So I said, okay, yeah, but the guy in the box is not necessarily the customer. Anyway, moving on. 3 types of pay-per-click that we're going to try to cover, at least to some level here today. Firstly, search engines. Search engines are really where it all began. This pay-per-click advertising thing began on search engines. Secondly, social media. Pretty much all social media sites offer paid advertising. You can advertise using LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter, or X as it's called now, TikTok, you name it. And then thirdly, YouTube, which you've got a little bit of a different way of doing it, which I'd just like to sort of touch on, if not go you know, too deep on today, because we've only got a limited amount of time. So where does it start then? Well, firstly, you know, my belief about, let me just tell you my belief about pay-per-click advertising. And that is, it's a little bit like all advertising. It's tough. It's not easy. You know, back in the day when I started 29 years ago, people used to put adverts in newspapers, in magazines and things like that. And when I spoke to them, they go, oh, well, no, I've not really won any business, or it's not really worked very well. But my belief is very firmly that it's not that, you know, any and every form of marketing works. It just doesn't work all the time. In fact, I'd even say it doesn't work quite a bit of the time, or even most of the time. So advertising works, but, you know, it is also a great way of flushing a load of money down the loo. You know, it doesn't always work. And if you don't know what you're doing, and you don't follow a set system, then, you know, it can be just a cost. So the first thing I'm going to talk about today is improving your advertising. Now, if you're not advertising, it'll help you improve your advertising when you start advertising, okay? Because you'll know more about what to do. Secondly, improving your conversion rates. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. I'll give you a perfect example. I was talking to a client the other day, and they said that they have been doing Facebook advertising. And I said, oh, really? I said, you know, how's it going? They said, oh, so it's been a waste of money. I said, I've tried it for 2 months now, and I've not won any sales. I said, oh, right. Okay. So what do you think's going wrong? He said, well, I don't know. He said, we're getting loads of clicks. And I said, well, really, if you think about it, the advert's doing what it should. The job of the advert is to get people to click and go to their website. It's your website that's not converting. It's the landing page that you need to work on, because the people are clicking, going, yes, I'm interested. Let's find out more. Going to your site, and they're going, not really what I was looking for. Or I don't really like this website, or the deal's too expensive, or it doesn't explain it enough, or whatever it may be. But the problem is with the conversion rate. Okay, do you get that? Yeah, does that make sense? I'm getting some nods. That's good. Okay, so the next one then is to convert that into sales. It's great if we're getting loads of people coming to your website, loads of inquiries, but we're not getting you know, that turning into business. And I think one of the problems comes back to that 5-step principle, and that is that you're trying to sell to strangers. You know, if I stick an advert on any, you know, anywhere, stick a paid advert up there somewhere, and it says, you know, book a meeting with Steve, or, you know, sign up to my results mastery program. All right, some people might be ready to do both of those things, but the vast majority are strangers who don't know me. There's no like and trust. And we've got to get people to a level where they know, like, and trust us. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And that takes a little bit more work than sometimes businesses try. They just go, do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy that? Do you want to buy something else? I get emails all the time from strangers asking me to buy things that you know, they have no clue who I am, whether I've got any needs or anything at all. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that people make. So the key here for me is to test, and test. Keep testing different things to try to gain improvement. So you need to stick at this thing called paid advertising a little bit longer than some of the other stuff. Okay, so we got a load of stuff here that I'm going to try and go through in the next few minutes, and then we'll do the Q&A if that's okay. So the first thing to think about is, what are your goals? What do you want to try to achieve? Do you want a sale, or do you want a meeting? Do you want them to download something? Do you want them to come to your event that you're running? You know, what is it you want? And if so, how many of those do you want? How many sales would be good? How many meetings would be good? If you spend, I don't know, £200 in a month, and that gets you 5 meetings, therefore each meeting's cost you £40, is that a good deal for you? And if it is, keep doing it and work on tests to try and improve the performance of it. If it's not, then you need to look at doing something different in order to try and improve performance. We'll talk about that in a moment. So the first thing you can do with paid advertising, and one of the real benefits of it, is to target people. It's really good at targeting. You know, never before, when you stick an advert in a newspaper or a magazine, it can be read by anybody. But on LinkedIn, you can say to LinkedIn, right, I want people in London who are business owners, who employ at least 20 people, who are in these 3 industries, who have the job title of managing director, and so on and so forth, who are men, who are over 50, you know, or under 30, you can target people really, really precisely of exactly who you want to see your ad. And the great news is, because it's pay per click, if they don't click, it don't cost you anything. So if you do mess it up and have a terrible advert, it probably won't cost you anything. And yet, you know, if you do, that advert could go out to many, many thousands of people, and all you pay for are the people who are interested enough to click on your advert. So, you know, it is a great opportunity, I believe. The other way of doing it on search engines is keyword generated. So keywords would be where I go on to Google, or somebody goes on to Google and types in accountant London, or, you know, business advice, or, you know, landscape gardening on the Isle of Wight, or whatever it is. And you've said to Google, if somebody types in any of these phrases, I want my advert to show up. And they're the adverts that are at the top on Google. So that's really good. So you can target this based on location. You don't want to be advertising to people in Sydney, in Australia, unless you're going to go and work there. You can even do it in terms of timing. You know, if you're selling, I don't know, if I was selling skiing holidays, I might be better off selling them in the evenings and at weekends than I would in the day when everybody's busy at work. You with me? So you could do that. You can also set it up so that you advertise towards the end of the day when other people have spent their budgets, and so you're not competing with your competitors who are trying to get found under those particular terms. So that can be a good one. As I've already said, the click-throughs and conversions are really, really important. You know, it's essential that you manage and measure your click-throughs. I talk about mistakes that people make in a little while, but in that area, they're probably one of the biggest areas that people make mistakes. Lastly, ad relevance. There's a certain criteria that you need to make, particularly on Google, if you're going to do Google ads, that making your ad relevant to the term that you're using helps to A, get your ad to the top of the ads, which is the bit at the top of the page generally, and B, making the cost per click less. So having a relevant advert will actually bring down how much you pay per click. So that's, again, really, really useful. As far as developing the actual ad, how do you do that? Well, the first thing you do is look at the headline. There's an old saying in advertising that the headline is the advert for the advert. You then look at the use of words, you know, the words that you're using. You can use video. A lot of pay-per-click advertising utilizes video, particularly on social media. I've had some great results as well as on YouTube, but also on LinkedIn. LinkedIn advertising, by advertising a video, getting people to watch video. Why? Because people buy from people. They watch me on the video and they think, oh, that's Steve Mills. He, you know, doesn't seem to be a mass, you know, mass murderer, or a nutcase or something. He seems to know what he's talking about, and you know, I'm going to book a meeting with him. So that's really important. As is pictures, you know, as is having a good call to action. You know, making sure that your advert tells people what to do. And then lastly, as I've already mentioned, getting your landing page really good so that when people do click on your ad, it's not just like going to your home page, which might be okay, but, you know, having on my advertising, I normally have a video on the landing page, and the landing page, it says, hi, thanks ever so much for clicking on my LinkedIn advert. My name is Steve Mills. Let me just tell you about what I'd like you to do from here. And I typically don't go for the sale. I go for the meeting, or I go for attending an event or something like that. So that can be really useful. Whoops. Where am I? Oh, I flick that forward too quickly. Okay, so the next one, tips, some quick tips. If you're doing keyword advertising on search engines, use what's known as long tail keywords. So a short tail one for me would be something like paid advertising, okay, or marketing advice. A long tail, longer word would be marketing advice for small businesses. Yeah, that's a longer tail, longer. It's easier, it's cheaper, and it works really well. Next one, broad match. Broad match is what's known as the default way of advertising on Google. What that means is that if somebody types in marketing advice for small business, my advert could come up under small business, advertising, advice, which it may be relevant, but it might not be. Somebody might be looking for small business accountant and type in small business, and my advert comes up, and that would be not exactly the best thing ever. So better for me is to use exact match advertising. Now, if you can see on the slide there, see where I've got those brackets around the word exact match. That is how you do exact match. I know this is a little bit technical, but it's really easy actually if you think about it. So if you only want your advert to appear when somebody types in exactly what you want in terms of keywords, you just stick it in that type of square bracket and that will happen. And that's what I recommend. The only other thing I'd recommend with that is, well, there's actually two things I'd recommend. One is negative keyword. So if I don't want to be found if somebody types in cheap marketing advice or free marketing advice. I don't want to pay for somebody to come who's looking for free advice. So I do minus cheap and then marketing advice. So the word, if they search under cheap marketing advice, my advert doesn't appear. So that's a really good tip. Next one there is keyword macros. What happens with that? And you stick it in that type of bracket again. What happens with that is when somebody searches for marketing advice, then my advert says marketing advice along the top. So it says what, you know, when you do a headline, it says whatever it says. It might say Steve Mills Marketing Company, and somebody's searching for marketing advice. If I use a keyword macro by putting the headline in that type of bracket, it will mean that my advert comes up. And it doesn't come up as Steve Mills Marketing Company. It comes up as marketing advice. So again, a really nice little sneaky way of doing that. Other thing here is keyword research. Recommend you do some of that. There are loads and loads of different systems out there. If you just go on to Google and type in keyword research sites, there'll be loads come up. Google's got its own. The one I tend to recommend is called Word Tracker, wordtracker.com. Go and have a look at that. And I'll just finish off with some quick common mistakes that people make. Number one would be letting the advert run, just turning it on and ignoring it. You need to work at this. You need to work at improving it. The chances are it won't work as well on day one as it would on day 50. Having worked and looked and understood and spent a little bit of time doing it. And you know, to be honest, you can outsource it. You can outsource it to us or somebody like us. But I think it's well worth getting an understanding of it, even if you're going to do this. But it's also worth, you know, maybe doing it yourself. You know, you're going to pay a few £100 probably for people, you know, a company to manage this for you. And you could take that money and invest it in paid advertising yourself and instead of investing it in somebody who's going to do it for you. But, you know, the choice is yours, whether your time is best spent doing paid advertising or you'd be better off employing somebody to do it for you is obviously up to you. Next one, not testing the words. Trying different words to improve performance is really important. If you're using keywords, testing keywords, trying different keywords. So I search for you and I come up trumps. That's what we really want to happen. Not learning more. I think, I'm trying my best to cram as much of information as I can into this session, but it ain't enough. You need to, if you go and do the Google pay-per-click advertising training, it's 2 weeks. It costs 2,000 quid. I'm not suggesting you want to go and do that, but you get an idea of how much is involved. You need to do some more training in that, in my opinion. Not optimizing your landing page. I've already said that. It's so important to do that. Oh, sorry, I missed one out. Paying too much per click. Yeah, you need to work on lowering your cost per click, and there's a system, a process, and that's around that word I used earlier of relevancy. If you've got a good ad and a good landing page, Google will reward you by providing a cheaper service to you. If it's terrible and awful and people are not clicking, they'll charge you more. And it's their robots that do all that decision making. So it's really important to know and understand that. And lastly, I'd suggest not expecting too much. In other words, if you're advertising, unless you've got like an e-commerce site where you're selling pens or t-shirts or something like that, as a consultant, coach, mentor, advisor, those types of industries, I think you should be doing one or two things with it. Either you go for it and try and get a meeting. Your objective is to get a meeting, or you offer them something prior to the meeting, i.e., go to my website, download this free report that I've written on XYZ, and you get 100 people to your website. That costs you £1 each. That's £100. 20 of them sign up to download your report. You follow them up, and that equals 5 people get into a meeting, and that equals 2 new clients. And they've cost you £50 each, those new clients. And that's either a good deal or not, dependent on how much you charge and what your lifetime value is. Okay, so that was as quick as I could do. I wrote all these things down earlier, and I thought to myself, have I overdone this? But just about managed it. A little bit longer, 25 minutes instead of 20. But over to you guys now in terms of any questions. I know Sonia's been scribbling away asking me questions, but the other two, shout out while I'm just reading Sonia's as well, please.
I think mine is definitely around the landing page, because we're getting visitors to the website, but we're not getting literally nothing from there at all. So that's definitely something I think I need to focus on.
Okay, all right.
On that side
I suggest first thing you need to do is look at the headline. The headline is the advert for the advert. It's also the advert for the web page. So how good is the headline that you're using? I see people all the time have headlines like "our services" or "about us." Can't get any worse than that, surely. It's
exactly.
terrible. So think about. I love simple, and other people have what I call like cutie headlines. Like funny or something like that. I love headlines that are like, if you've got this problem, then do this. Let's tell people, if you need help with this, then, take the first step and do that. I love that really simple process from a guy called Frank Kern, who's one of the world's leading experts, and that's what he recommends. And I think it works like clockwork. Or I also love headlines with how to do this, or even how to do this without doing that. That's another way of doing it. So I might do, for this event, I might have done how to improve your pay-per-click advertising without wasting a fortune on advertising that doesn't work. That would be a nice headline for this event that we're on right now, wouldn't it? You with me?
Yeah.
So that would be step one. Number two, has it got a video on it? Because if it hasn't, but it did have, that could help you improve the performance of it. Number three would be the words, looking at the words. What do you need to improve on the words? And number four would be the use of the call to action. You know, a lot of people make the mistake of having a call to the action way down at the bottom of the page where nobody gets.
Absolutely.
So it's good to have a call to action. Maybe for some people, they want to read a lot of stuff before they'll do anything. Others go, oh yeah, that's exactly what I want. Oh, what do I do? Oh yeah, just click that near the top. And so there's a button there for them to clear. What is the action that you're asking for, by the way? Are you saying
just to get in touch, really? So we haven't got any ads or anything like that, but we get quite a lot of visits to the website, but we literally get nothing else. That's it. Like we just have no contact.
Right. So
so I think it is
getting a lot of people to your site.
Yeah.
And it's not converting. So that you need to think about your MWA, which stands for most wanted action. All right.
Yeah.
Let me just give you a very quick example here. Just going to share my screen again. Let's just come out of that. And if you go to my website, if I go to the home page, so if you came, perhaps you click on an advert or a post on LinkedIn, and you go here. Let me just turn this off. What is my most wanted action? Would you think?
Booking
a meeting, yeah. Up front and central. That's what I want. With a second thing of watching my video. Now, what I do in the video is I tell people to book a meeting. Okay. So
we've got nothing like that on our landing page at all. So I definitely need to look at that.
That would probably be a step forward, wouldn't it? You know, go here and do this. You know, again, it's been pretty direct. You know, I can help you increase your success. I've been doing it for 28 years. You know, to kickstart your journey, you know, book a meeting. Basically, that's in summary what this says. This advert, and it might be worth you just listening to this because you could model this. It says, I work with people who, some of them have this problem, others have that problem, and a few have the other problem. And if you think about what are the problems that you solve, you could easily turn that into the same thing I've done. So in mine, I say, I work with businesses who are looking to grow. Some of them have the problem of not having time to do marketing. Others don't like or understand the digital marketing side of things. And a few have actually done very little marketing. They've maintained their business, but they're now looking to grow. If any of that rings a bell, what I'd like you to do is to book a free results booster session with me. Notice I don't call it a meeting. It's just, the headline for the box is a free results booster session rather than, free no obligation meeting, which is what everybody says. The one thing I'd say with most marketing is if you can be different, that's a really good thing. Don't do what the masses do, because the masses really don't do very well in terms of marketing. So one final point, Frankie, is testimonials. What you said about me, about you. I could say, oh yeah, come with me, it's going to be brilliant, we'll do this, and you think, oh yeah, Steve would say that, he's trying to sell me something. But if I can show you where my clients have said, I got this result, I've got this result, I've done this, you go and have a look at my website and you'll see all over it are genuine testimonials from lots of clients, but built up over.
Something that I do like about my website is the testimonials bit is really good and it looks really great. But again, it's not. It's you have to go find it.
Go find it.
It's not
It
there.
needs to be on every page, particularly the page
exactly.
funded on. Yeah. So, yeah, it's great to have. I've got a page like that with loads of testimonials. Like it's got 140 testimonials on it. I call it modest marketing because it's really powerful. But also those testimonials are sprinkled throughout my website.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sonia, we're ignoring you. I'm thinking, yeah, she said that. Pay-per-click ads are good. I've used Google. I find it hard to target the right customers. I'm going to say, Sonia, set up a meeting with me and we'll talk about this. Yeah. So I don't know why you find it hard to target the right customers with advertising. You should be able to do that really easy, and I'll show you how during the meeting. Are you talking mainly Google now? Well, I was talking through, both really. Some of it was Google. The keyword. Adverts are either keyword generated or they are targeted, i.e., you on LinkedIn and social media adverts. You're able to say, show your advert to these people. Whereas on Google, the big difference, I suppose, in a nutshell, is on Google, they're looking for you. And on social media, you're looking for them. And when I say on Google, I mean on search engines, whether it's Google or any other search engine. So you're looking for them. You're saying to LinkedIn, show this advert to managing directors of businesses on the Isle of Wight. On Google, I'd say to Google, only show my advert to businesses on the Isle of Wight, and only when somebody types in marketing advice on the Isle of Wight. So if they type in marketing advice on the Isle of Wight, my advert appears. Okay, so that's the difference. I hope that makes sense. Tom, anything your end? Any questions?
Not as much questions. For a while, I used paid Facebook ads. Initially, it was quite successful, and then it dried up.
Okay.
So I've given up.
Okay.
Because I was just wasting money.
Yeah. Well, that you don't want to waste money. I'm a Yorkshireman. I don't like wasting money. We've got a reputation for that. So what I'd say you do is, I mean, two things. One, you could just go, right, I'm not doing that anymore because it doesn't work. But maybe before that is just test, with a small amount of money over just a couple of weeks.
I was doing it.
And look at it and go, what's not working? Because if it's not working, there's always a reason. It could be the advert. Are you getting the clicks?
I was getting quite a lot of, as I said, to start with.
Quite a lot of clicks. So it's the landing page, or it's the targeting. You're getting clicks, but from the wrong people. You with me?
Possibly.
Yeah. So if you're getting a load of people who can't afford what you do, for example, they'll go there and go, it's great, but it's too expensive, or it's great, but that's not what I was looking for. So that can be particularly with the social media advertising. You can easily get it to a situation where you're advertising, but the advert is targeting the wrong people. But having said that, Facebook is really good at learning who clicks on your advert and then showing it to more of those people. So it's probably your landing page, a little bit like Frankie, really. The landing page optimization is absolutely paramount to the success. Really, whether it's advertising or just posting on LinkedIn. I drive 1,000 people per month approximately to my website from just posting on LinkedIn without the paid advertising, you know. But I'm doing that 4, 5, 6 times every day. You know, I'm putting my advert, even though it's not a paid advert, my post out 6 times a day, right throughout the day. And people are seeing it and going, and typically I keep it really short. I'll do just written a new blog post. It's about paid advertising. Thought you might find it interesting. Why don't you go and have a look at it? I'll give you a perfect example. At the end of this meeting, I will take the recording of this. I will upload it into YouTube. I'll then copy that link onto my blog, onto my website. And then I'll go on to LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so on and so forth. And I'll say, I've just finished this week's Results Mastery Live. In it, I spoke about pay-per-click advertising and how you can do it better than you've done it before. If you'd like to watch the recording, go here. Yeah?
Right. I remember very well from your previous...
okay, great. Yeah.
I remember very well from your previous webinar that I should be posting on LinkedIn several times a day.
Yes.
Now, in my case, I disagree, because I cannot put up meaningful posts on LinkedIn. So what I do nowadays, I just post it twice a week. And for instance,
what do you do, Tom? Remind me what you do.
I'm a mental well-being coach and hypnotherapist.
Okay, all right.
And my website is absolutely fantastic, actually.
Is it? Great. Send me a link. I'd love to look at it. Send me a link to it.
I will.
All I'd say to that, you know, is I'm not here to say, right, you must do anything. But my advice would be, if what you're doing, again, it comes back to, is it work? If you're posting twice a week on LinkedIn and it's working, great. Keep doing what's working. Take no notice of anybody like me, including me. But if it's not working, and by working I mean, are you winning business? Then it's time to do something different. So that could be improving what you're doing, still doing twice a week, but looking at how you can get more people to visit your website as a result of those 2 posts. Or you can test, doesn't matter what I think, but you could test doing more. Do it once a day or 4 times a week. See if you can just get a little bit more. See if you can improve what results you're getting. Because it's all about, you know, I mean, I run this, you know, company and service called Results Mastery, and it's all about advising and helping businesses to grow. It's a 12-month program, and in it, we kick off every week a group session. We have a group meeting every Thursday, and the first thing we do is write results. What have you done? What actions have you taken this week? And what results did you get as a result of it? And people sometimes, particularly when they first join, they say, well, you know, I've done really well. You know, I've been posting every day on LinkedIn. I said, fantastic, really good. Tell me, what results have you got? Oh, they often don't know. You know, how many people visited your website as a result of all that posting? Did you get any inquiries? You know, right, okay, let's work out what we can do to get more inquiries from your LinkedIn post, or from your Facebook ad, or from your search engine optimization, or from referral. You know, one of the best and most neglected forms of marketing on the planet is referral. You know, it's fantastic. Word of mouth marketing. And I'll be doing a session on that. Can't remember, it's coming up. It's in a few weeks, but I'll certainly let you know about it. But anyway, we've gone over time. We're 4 minutes over time, so I'm going to say goodbye for now. I hope it's been, has it been good for you? Has it been worthwhile? Yeah, good. Just to let you know, Tom, Sonia says, I love Tom's website, so she's had a look at it. So that's good to hear. But if you send me a link, I'll have a look and give you some feedback on it. Sonia also says she's going to fix a call. It'd be good to speak to you again, Sonia. And the same applies for the other two of you. If you'd like to do that, that'd be great to have a one-to-one with you. So that's it. Thank you ever so much. See you again next time.
Thank you.
Take care for now. Bye-bye.